Feels weird talking about baseball on Monday, but we will. Hope you are digging out. I know it's the weather is absolutely insane all over the country. Here in my area, Grafton, I'm close to Worcester. As I'm recording this, we have over 20 inches of snow. So hopefully all of you are safe. Congrats to the Patriots in the Super Bowl for the 12th time facing the Seahawks. They played a great game, and the NFL playoffs have been terrific. That was a pretty good snow day to have, and I know a lot of us will have a snow day as well today. Welcome to Red Sox Now. If it's the first time, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to subscribe. By You don't have to smash the subscribe button. Just click it. No smashing. Leave your comments. We'll do the sidebar. As you see, Paredes, I got an MLB.com says Monday Miners, a guy that I really liked last year in Worcester, and then we'll get to your fantastic comments as always. Follow me on social at the Radio Mike on X and TikTok. We have more people added to the Discord over the weekend. I love it. We had full day of NFL talk. That's the thing is that in the Discord that I have, we talk about everything. And send me an email, antonellis.michael@gmail.com. We added Chess Safari, Betty over the weekend. So thank you. We get those Discord numbers up. Love to have 1,000 at some point. And we are crushing it with subscribers, all thanks to you and your fantastic comments. So we'll get right into it. A little bit of an Isaac Paredes update. Apparently the Astros are still interested in it. And the one thing that I think people have to understand when you're a fan of a big market team is you have to understand how some of these other teams operate. And I don't think people fully sometimes understand it. Like the Brewers. Unbelievable season. They'll never, I don't agree with them with Freddie Peralta. I don't think the return they got was great either. Two players. I saw Sproat pitch a lot last year. Tong is better. Jet Williams could be good, but the Brewers are pretty good at this. But that's because Peralta has 1 year left. So they're not going to sign guys. That's how they operate. I would never want to be a fan of a team like that. You're coming off an unbelievable season and you're just trading your best pitcher for minor leaguers. And so you ask yourself that question with the Astros. The Astros had 87 wins, but they keep winning now. Again, they can certainly argue back to me. They've had success doing this. And they were the first to crush it all the way down and rebuild it. And they have had success with this formula. And I think in certain markets, you can do that, right? Like the fans aren't the same there as they are here. Here, you want to have young players, but fans only like it to a certain point. But I still think you have to put your foot down on certain things and go with a younger core, as as we're seeing. And I think people have turned the corner on that. But what the Astros still do is they aren't going to give guys long-term deals. They're just going to have a core of guys that they'll keep. So for a team coming off 87 wins and the fact that they are still interested in trading Paredes, according to the Athletics, Chandler Rome, that they are still talking. And right now, the two sides are not close to a deal. Red Sox are among multiple teams interested in Paredes, according to multiple league sources. Rome wrote on Sunday. No deal is believed to be close. And Brown did not address Paredes' availability on Saturday, but Brown's desire for balance only amplifies a potential fit between Boston and Houston. So the Houston people are still talking about this, which I thought was kind of no bueno, not good, not going to happen, because there is that other side to this equation that the Astros want to get rid of Christian Walker. I think they feel they can't do that. But they just got Paredes. They were a winning ball club. He does play third. They do have Correa there. That's the the holdup with they kind of have in their minds maybe an extra guy. But still, I mean, that's a solid piece to trade away. Now it all depends on the return. And I'm not opposed to, I talked about not wanting to trade Bayo. I'm not completely opposed to it if it's the right situation because I still believe Connolly Early is a rotation piece. And we'll get to that right now. I want more of you to read and listen to national opinions because a lot of the local opinions sometimes are very agenda based. The national opinions aren't. And I listen to MLB radio religiously on Sirius XM. I read MLB.com a lot because they have no agenda. They're reporting down the middle. And the 10 biggest positional upgrades made this offseason. This is a terrific article that Thomas Harrigan wrote that was in Saturday, and it's really good. The rotation, the biggest upgrade. We'll get to first base. Red Sox first base. They have Wilson Contreras. And this is a good article if you read it. What happened in 2025? Tristan Casas, and then they talk about Toro and Devers not wanting to play there, Nathaniel Lowe, and they addressed it by getting Contreras. So I like this article. Starting rotation, what happened in 2025? And this is something that I've talked about. They traded for Crochet. They had Bayo and Giolito, but they were on the injured list. But they had a mess after that. We were okay going into last season with Houck as the 2, Bueller as the 3, Fitz as the 4, and Sean Newcomb as the 5. How'd they address that? They traded for Sonny Gray, Johan Oviedo. They signed free agent Ranger Suarez. And we have a ton of other young players ready to go with Early, Tolley, and then we're going to have a bunch. So I like that article. A lot of these articles on MLB.com are fair. It's very informational based, but it gives you some context of what happened last year. There's this agenda out there that the Red Sox are running back the same team. I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know how in the day of the internet you can think they're running back the same team. Maybe they have some of the same position players. And you also have to remember that guys can get better. You know what I mean? If you're thinking they're going to running back the same team, then you think Duran will hit 250, Anthony will get hurt, Abreu, Rafaela won't improve. And now it could go the other way, but it could go plus. It can go plus and minus. So this running back the same team thing is totally ridiculous and makes zero sense because your rotation is leaps and bounds better, and you have plenty of bullpen arms, and they're probably going to add to that. But I would read that article; it's really good. All right, the Red Sox announced non-roster invitees, including one of my favorite players from last year, and I tweeted this, and I said I can speak for the Red Sox, the Woo Sox broadcast team, how much that we liked Tyler McDonough, former third-round pick out of NC State. He got pretty good money. He got close to $1 million to sign. He's a switch hitter. He's been hurt, but what we were so amazed with last year was how this guy would not play for weeks and then go in there and just mash. He's got pretty good power too. The ball off his bat, hits the ball hard. A gap hitter, can run. Position versatility as well. He can play all over. I think he's a true utility profile where he's going to be able to play everywhere. Second, third, short, all outfield spots. Really like this kid. Super underrated. Similar to a Nick Sogard without the eye. Not a guy that's going to take a lot of walks. Might be a little bit faster than Sogard. I think defensively, pretty much the same. And really like this kid. It's another. There's always guys that we don't think about that are on a roster that are in the system or in AAA that maybe is looked. I thought last year Uberstein was that. He gets on the 40 man. Tyler McDonough, who's probably going to be a utility guy in Worcester. Um, really like him as well. Hobie Harris is another pitcher that I really like as well. Samengo, Samanego, the guy that they got from the Pirates, another one who is on the 40 man. He has a chance to make the roster, as does Ryan Watson. Um, but I'm looking forward to that Worcester team. You know, we probably will have, I would think maybe Sogard could be there. We'll see how things shake up. But we'll see Campbell probably in Sogard. But the pitching with potentially early Tolley, Uberstein, Drowan. Not sure what David Sandlin's role is going to be, if he'll be back in the. I would think they should keep him as a reliever. We'll see. They want him stretched out. And then from a lot of the things that I have heard through the grapevine, Witherspoon will start potentially in high A, and there's a good shot that we'll see him if things all go the way that they think, that he'll be in Triple A, mid-season or maybe earlier or later. We'll see, but the probability of Witherspoon, former first-round pick, to be in Worcester. He was born in 2004, 2004, August 2004. Pitched at Oklahoma in 25 and has a chance to maybe be in the big leagues the next year. And it wouldn't surprise me at all. All right, Friday's comments before we head out on a snowy Monday. Wish I could help all of you out. The Gurr 81. How big of an impact do you think Nate Eaton will be this year? Huge utility with plus arm and speed. Yeah. Um, like I've told many of you, this is not a knock on Rob Refsnyder. I love Rob Refsnyder. I think Nate Eaton, though, is a little bit better of a player. Yeah, no doubt the impact he has against left-handed pitchers, Refsnyder, but you're looking for position versatility, and this is no newbie to the big leagues. He's played with the Royals. I thought in 41 games he did a really good job with the Red Sox last year. He has one of the hardest throwing arms in all of professional baseball. We have a stats portal, and I've talked about this before, which is fantastic. It's the big league portal that we get, and everything that happens in a game, we have this thing called Hawkeye. It tracks everything: bat speed, run speed, arm speed, and every time Eaton would make a throw, it would come up on our thing as an elite, and it would be like in the top 5% of all major leaguers. So can play all three outfield spots, can play third, can play everywhere. Very athletic, very focused. This guy on game day, I used to see him walking through the clubhouse. He is really locked in. Like it's almost like a football mentality. He is very serious for every game, like it's his last. I love that. I mean, he's a great base stealer. He can run the bases, he can steal, and I think he'll have a great impact. Just a gammon. I'm excited to see a little bit of the youth movement. Yeah, I mean that's what teams are doing. You know, I love the prospects or suspects, but you like Aaron Judge, you like Mookie Betts, and you've got a core now of a lot of your own. Duran, I almost consider Abreu your own, but Duran, Rafaela, Anthony, Meyer, Bayo, and then you know on the cusp of early Tolley and others. Patricia Oliver dot a dash K6P. Disagree with you. Crazy trading Duran. Abreu and Roman were hurt. The most important part of the season. Thankfully, we had Duran. Unless we don't want to go far this season, we better keep him. Yeah, I mean, I don't completely disagree, but you're not going to rotate four outfielders in Yoshida. So it's either Rafael is at second or someone's gone. It's just the way it is. You're not going to go into the season and tell those four guys you're not playing every day. It's just not happening. Anthony's playing every day, and you have three of them are lefties, so you have no true utility. But it's just not happening. Um, they're not going to go for that. Those guys need to play every day. It doesn't benefit you to keep one of them on the bench in case someone gets hurt. And then what are you going to do? Like if someone's hot, you're just not going to play them for a day or two because you got to get the other guy to. It's not. Cora played it different last year because it was all hands on deck. But going into the season, they'll either trade one, move Rafaela, or it's just they're just not going to do with it. But I don't agree with trading anybody. And it's not just Duran, it's Abreu if it makes your team better. And at the end of the day, like I love Jarren Duran, I love Willie Abreu, but it's still a position that you can find easier than third base. Right? I mean, you've recreated the outfield like 9 times. You'll get hurt more without solid defense on the infield than you will in the outfield, especially at Fenway, because you can really play anyone in left. It's a very low maintenance position. But I like Duran, and I'm all for keeping him. I'm just saying that, and I've got a lot of this that they're going to rotate the four. They're not. They're not going to rotate 4 everyday players into 3. It's just not happening. Unless, again, Rafaela plays second every day, and they go Anthony, Duran, and Abreu, which I don't love, but if that's potential option because of what the demands are when you need something. We're seeing it. I don't truly think the Paredes thing can happen because I don't think that they have a lot of bargaining power here. All right, go shovel and be safe out there. Drop your comments wherever you're from. How much snow did you get? I'm curious to know because the totals all over the country are mind-boggling to me because growing up, you would never see the Mid-Atlantic get snow similar to the East Coast. It's the weather's changing. All right, that's another show, another topic. It's Red Sox Now. Subscribe before you head out. Leave your comments. We'll read them for Tuesday. I'll read them all day. Follow me on social at the Radio Mike. Have a great Monday, and as always, go Sox.